As you can hear, my alarm clock is going off. Time to get up. That tent site worked out wonderfully last night. It was pretty cold down here. We got close to freezing, but not that close. 2.5 degrees. There's the moon this morning. Whew. Now that I'm out of the tent, I gotta get moving fast. Well, I'm off this morning. You think I left my mark here? So much walking around doing things. You know, got 9 billion footprints. Here we go. I've been hiking for, I don't know, 20 minutes. So, starting to warm up just a little bit. I did that thing this morning where I didn't put any of my warm weather gear on. I thought I'd just hike it out, you know. Hike fast enough to warm myself up. It took a little longer this morning. Cold, dusty air kind of had my asthma going, so I had to slow down just a bit. But feeling good now. Sun's starting to come up. And right here is the water cache that I had been counting on from way back when, before I found that orange pool. And there were a lot of, you'd see reports like, oh, 13 gallons of water, 9 gallons of water, 4 gallons of water. Hey, there's no water here today. That kind of stuff. So, let's see, this is one of those with the chain. So, there we go. So anyway, it does look like there's some water there. I'll check better here in a second. Oh, look at that. Could have chosen to do that instead of hiking past this highway and on to Pie Town and having to carry 8 days. I think I talked about that already, the town of Reserve. I could have gone into there, but so far away and cost so much to shuttle there and everything. Anyway, look at that. There's lots of water. Water, water, water in almost every container there. So I would have been good. But how do you know? I'm glad I got the water at the orange pool. Always something weird about crossing a big highway when you're out hiking like this. It's like, oh yeah, the real world does exist. Now today entails, and not just today, entails a lot of road walking. Not right away here, but soon. Probably 2 days worth of road walking. I had a real dilemma here to choose, which every CDT hiker has, which is, which route do I want to take? There's the CDT, and then there's the alternate road walk to Pie Town. And the CDT consists of, a day and a half of hiking in the wilderness, and then a day road walk on a major highway, US Highway 60. And the alternate is 2 days of just hiking on a road, but it's not a major highway. And I just thought, if I have to hike on the road anyway, I really don't want to hike on that major highway. And I'll just do this. It ends up being shorter anyway. So, and there's definite water along here that's easy to get to. So I'll talk more about that as I go. So anyway, that's what I'm choosing. Okay, so having just crossed Highway 12, I'm now coming in on the CDT. This is a really cool little sign here. Anyway, I will do this for a little while until I finally get to that intersection where I have to choose to do the... Oh, I didn't sure I could squeeze through there. we have to choose whether to do the CDT or the road walk. It's decision time. Coming out of the CDT, I can either follow the CDT that way or do my road walk to Pie Town. And I'm choosing the road walk for the reasons I mentioned earlier. I did see some of the comments on the Far Out app. A couple people mentioned, after doing the road walk, they wish they would have just done the CDT and then hitchhiked that US Highway 60 segment, or whatever highway it is, to Pie Town. And, that would make for a better hike, no doubt. You don't have to hike on the highway and you get to hike the CDT. But, I just thought, well, if I'm going to choose between, hitchhiking a section or hiking the whole thing, I'll choose this route and just hike it. Or come to think of it, I could just hitchhike this whole 39-mile drive into Pie Town. No, I'll hike it. Well, hiking a dirt road like this is not so bad. It's kind of just like hiking a wide trail. You get to see all the same stuff. Nature's real close right next to you and open to you here. You can pick a spot like the center here where the dirt's a little softer. It's easier on your feet than walking on a road. And so I don't mind this. I don't know. I doubt the road will stay this way the whole time, but if it could, that'd be fantastic. This has been a nice hike, good road, but man, there's been a lot of climbing. And now I'm going downhill a little bit, so that's good. A nice cool breeze all morning. Now I'm into the bigger pines. That's gorgeous. I haven't seen much going on, just some birds singing and a couple of hares zipping around in front of me. Too fast for me to get my camera out. That's a good day. Little squirrel, I don't know if he's coming to see me or not. He doesn't seem too scared. Well, maybe he does. Interesting little guy, huh? Whole herd of elk. Some males, some females. Well, the road just turned nicer right back there, which means a couple of things. One, it's a lot easier to navigate, meaning, I don't have to keep looking at my feet every second, going past boulders, and so I don't slip into things and whatever, trip over stuff. But also, it gets more uncomfortable to walk on this hard pack gravel road, so once in a while, if it's flatter off to the side, I might walk over and the grass just a little or something. Anyway, otherwise not much has changed. Just enjoying the day. Way back in there behind me is a white truck of some kind, which I never would have even seen, except some dogs were making a crazy noise. Barking up a storm and howling and whatever, so I don't know if they were barking at me or not. Well, other than that Jeep that was just, 5 minutes back, this right here, the first sign of anything that makes me think of civilization since I've been out here today. These 9 miles on this road, on these roads. Anyway, this US Highway 60, that is where I'm heading to. Basically, Pie Town is on Highway 60. And of course, Highway 60 runs east and west. And so, you know, I'm taking it northeast here to get to Pie Town. If I were way back there on the CDT, going straight north, I would also hit Highway 60, and then I would have to do that long, entire day long walk on Highway 60 this direction until I hit Pie Town. So that gives you any picture. I'm sure it's pretty easy to understand with me standing here going around in circles and waving my camera around. Looks like an impressive storm cloud forming there. Okay, well, I'm here at, I assume it's Valle Tio Vince's campground. And I think, I don't know, I'll have to figure it out. I think up there somewhere is a spring. Somewhere back there is a spring I can get to. Maybe there's even water in that water trough there. But there's a water cache that's kept alive up here that looks like all year everybody's been counting on. But I saw the latest post I saw was from 3 or maybe now I think it's 4 days ago. It said 1 gallon left. So I might be out of luck. And I don't even know where it is. It says somewhere at this junction, but it's certainly not obvious, is it? So I'm gonna look around and see. If not, I'll go back to the campground and see if I can find that spring. Well, I was down there, back there, campground, and at this little junction, wandering around for a bit. And then I looked up the road, which is also the trail, and saw all these jugs up here. So let's hope one of them has, I don't know, I probably need 3 liters. I haven't totally figured it out yet, but that would save me so much time if there's water here, having to go back and look for a spring and see if there even is one still. Certainly not a lot of water, but oh, if there could just be one jug here. Boy. Ah, there's a little bit in the bottom of that one. A little bit in the bottom of that one. You know what? I'm going to be able to make this work. There's a little bit in that. No, I don't know what that is. Anyway, okay. I'll try to figure it out here. Well, I was able to get exactly what I needed. I've got 3 liters, which there's water about 11 or 12 miles from here, which I will not do today. So I need water to get me up this mountain climb coming up, and then overnight, and then, you know, to the morning to get me to the next water. So worked out great. I hope there's nobody behind me needing water. And this is such a nice little spot with this shade and these rocks and stuff. Even though it's only 11 o'clock, I'm just going to have an early lunch. And then I will cruise on. Hopefully that'll give me the energy I need to get up this mountain climb. I finished eating. I think I have the energy to get up and roll now. I have to do about, over the next 3 3/4 miles, I have to climb about 1,500 feet. So, and it seems pretty, well, it seems a little more gradual at the beginning, a little steeper later, which is normal. We'll just see how I do with it. 3 3/4 miles. I could do anything. One thing I haven't really mentioned is just how I need to deal with water out here, since it's so precious, you know. Like right here, I have exactly the water I need. I cannot afford to lose any of it. So when I'm working with this, you know, I undo this lid, and I do not, you know, take my hand off this bottle and leave it here where it could tip over. You know, I hold on to it, Then I use my right hand, I reach down, grab a couple pinches of salt, I put it in, I put the lid back on, you know, things like that. Just always making sure that everything is controlled and sealed, because it's kind of, I mean, it's not life or death, because I could hang out here, until somebody came by and, beg for water or whatever, probably. But, it could be life or death. So, got to treat it that way. All right, we're off. So, thank you so much to whoever's leaving all this water. Hope that the next person, they have it filled back up. But what a nice little lunch spot. So I'm gonna head off here. These clouds have been building for the last 45 minutes since I showed you before when I first got to the campground. They don't look great. I heard a little rumbling over there. I think it was thunder. It wasn't super loud or anything, but they haven't moved much. I don't know what direction they're going. I would assume they're going to only be moving northeast, which is the same direction I'm moving. We'll see what happens. Well, that stuff that I could see from the campground is just sitting back there doing its thing. But now that I've come up a rise a little bit, this is what I see in front of me. I'm walking into, so something to keep my eye on. Well, I'm still traveling in the exact same direction, but that storm is moving off to the north, so that's probably a good thing. You definitely use those clouds, but I don't need to be dodging lightning. When I said mountain climb, you probably thought a nice mountain trail. But nope, still on this gravel road. And we'll be all the way to Pie Town 2 days from now. Well, there are the storms behind me spreading out. Storms have popped up to the south of me. That's the storm that's I'm kind of walking into, that's sort of running away from me barely. So I don't know if I'm going to avoid this. I think that is Manga Mountain that I'm heading towards up there. If you look way at the top, there's a fire tower. And I've heard mention of that. I wonder if I will go by that. That'd be cool. Well, the clouds are filling in all around me. All around me and over me, and yeah. So I'm at the base of the mountain though, just starting up. But not too worried as long as all these tall trees hold out, which they will. The mountain's not that high. Getting closer and closer to the top. Well, I don't even know if my hike takes me to the very top, but getting closer to the top of wherever it takes me. And still, clouds are thick everywhere. It's raining there. It's thundering like crazy over there. I'm just getting a few sprinkles. Maybe you can see the drops on the ground. Virtually nothing so far. It's cooled off so much. I mean, this has been a godsend. There's a cool breeze. It's almost cold. If I got soaking wet from the rain and I just sat up here in this breeze, I would probably get hypothermic. It's that much cooler. Can't wait to get there and start heading down the other side. This morning I was at somewhere in the mid 7,000s feet of elevation, and right now I just crested over right about 9,600, and I'm heading down, and it's thundering a lot, but again, all these big trees everywhere I'm heading into, and easy for me to just peel off this road anytime I need to. All right, another mile maybe. I'll be ready to at a place where I could tent if I want to. I almost made it to this little tent site that I wanted to be able to just hunker down in right here. It's good blockage from the trees and everything. Anyway, but then it started hailing and raining harder, and I had to put my rain jacket on. And now I'm going to get my umbrella out and just hunker down for a bit. It's been about 15 minutes and it seems like it's dying down a little, letting up. I'll tell you what, I am freezing, and I'm not even wet. I'm just sitting here in my shorts and my rain jacket under my sun umbrella and it's freezing. That's really crazy how fast it goes to that. So my dilemma is, it's only like 1:45 or something in the afternoon. You know, I don't think I've really said this, but I've needed to do about 16.25 miles every day to make it to Pie Town on time, not run out of food and everything. And I've been doing just slightly more than that, and I've already done that today. So I could just set up my tent and be done with it, and that sure would be easy and all that, but I'm not very good at that. I'd really like to just, you know, it's all downhill now for a long time. Not all downhill, but a lot. I'd like to just go, you know, nice and slow, just take it easy and go and just see how far I get. But, you know, for at least a couple more hours, but I don't know. I really can't decide, so I'm going to sit here and see if I have an epiphany. Well, it got too cold out there to just stay out there and not do anything, so I either needed to just take off, start hiking and warm up and get somewhere, or set up the tent. I set up the tent. You know, there was a time, where, you know, I would have taken off in that and I would have just hiked as fast as I needed to stay warm. Now is not that time. I don't feel strong enough to be able to do that necessarily, and, you know, obviously don't want to put myself in jeopardy. So anyway, this is what I need to do. It got so cold so fast. I'm not sure why I got that cold, but it's still pretty darn cold, and I hope it doesn't get even colder tonight. That would be crazy, but anyway, we'll see what happens there. I got things I can do. I need to work on my feet a little bit, and you know, some blisters I've got, and I've got some stuff I could maybe edit a little bit on my phone, even though I don't have a lot of battery left at this point after all these days. But anyway, I'll keep myself busy, and, you know, if somehow things just clear up real quick, I might head back out. But it's still raining off and on, and then I'll hear thunder again and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna ride it out and see what happens. Well, it's about 4 o'clock. I managed to get a cell signal. It's kind of intermittent, to just a couple of bars every once in a while, and then it goes out. But anyway, I after a while trying, I got the weather, and yeah, there's like a 70% chance of thunderstorms for the next couple hours at least. So I'm just gonna hunker down here and just call it a day. Tomorrow looks like, partly cloudy, nice all in the morning. There's a decent chance of rain tomorrow afternoon, but by then I'll be lower and no big deal anyway. So I'm just gonna take off tomorrow and do my thing. And yeah, tonight will just be a night of kind of relaxing. I've already fallen asleep like 3 times, and I tried to get back up and do something. I think maybe this is the universe letting me know I need to take a break. That's how I'm reading it anyway. This is probably all for today, so good night.